Welcome to Sabbath School Daily, where we have been studying from this lesson, Psalms. This week we're starting a brand new lesson, lesson number 11, which has the title, Longing for God in Zion, and today's Sabbath lesson. Our memory verse this week comes from Psalm 84, verse 2, that says, "My soul longs, yes, even faints for the courts of the Lord. My heart and my flesh cry out for the living God." When was the last time that you had a longing desire to go to church? To be sitting on the pew, praising God, singing songs of praise and hymns to Him, praying with your brothers and sisters at church? When was the last time that you wanted to do that? That you actually, said and cried out to God, "Lord, how I want to go to church." That's not really something that we do all that much, is it? I don't know why. It's one of those things that, we like going. If you're anything like me, you'll enjoy going to church, being among your friends there, being among the people that are praising God. But it's not typically one of those things that people go out of their way to pray about, hope about, think about all that much. We just go to church. And I think that has a lot to do with how blessed we are to have churches in several locations and to have that ability, the freedom to be able to go whenever we want. In the Bible, it's not always so. Especially here for the psalmist, for many of these worshipers, the temple, God's sanctuary, it wasn't so close. They would have to walk miles in order to get there. And back then, remember, they didn't have cars, motorcycles, they didn't have any form of transportation that is anything close to what we have today. And so it wasn't as easy as, oh, let's go to church. So it was a very different reality than what we have today. But with the psalmists, we see a whole other level to this reality, where they want to go to church. They want to go to God's house. They want to be in His presence. They want to sing with the congregation. They want to pray with their brethren to the Lord. And so I find that so beautiful, and it's something that we really don't think about all that much today because we just take it for granted. This week's lesson is going to be about the privilege of being before the Lord in His house of worship. The title of the lesson, as we've already said, is Longing for God in Zion. What makes Zion so special? Why does the psalmist long to be in Zion? What makes them write hymns and songs about it? We're going to be studying that throughout this week, so don't miss out. Our lesson today says the following in the first paragraph. The songs of Zion are joyous hymns that magnify the beauty of Zion and the sovereignty of the Lord who reigns from His holy mountain. These psalms often praise the merits of the Lord's house and express a love for the sanctuary that can be found in other psalms as well. Many of these psalms were composed by the sons of Korah, who had first-hand experience of the blessedness of the Lord's house as the temple musicians and keepers of the temple gates. So on a first level, we have the experience of the sons of Korah, who had the privilege of being around the house of the Lord quite constantly. And so this is a first-hand account of their experience of how they loved that environment and what they got out of it. The lesson then continues by saying, what makes Zion the source of hope and joy? Zion represented God's living presence among His people. As the people of Israel are God's chosen people, so Zion is God's chosen mountain. God reigns from Zion and founded His temple on Zion as well. Thus, Zion is a place of divine blessings and refuge. Zion is often referred to in parallel or even interchangeably with Jerusalem and the sanctuary, the center of God's work of salvation for the ancient world. So more than just talking about the experience of church, of coming together, of the sanctuary, of the temple, we're also going to learn about Zion, the habitation of God in the days of old. So as it's interchangeable with Jerusalem, with the sanctuary, this is where the people would go up to meet the Lord together. In our time, we also know that we can meet the Lord together at church, at someone's home, really anywhere. The Bible tells us that where two or three are gathered, there the Lord is. But there is something special of coming together in a fellowship, in a congregation, to praise God, to pray, to hear a message, to open the Word, to participate in a meal. That is always a blessed experience. And so we're going to see elements of that as the lesson plays out this week. Finally, it says, the blessings of Zion overflow to the ends of the earth because the Lord's person and grace exceed the boundaries of any holy place. Zion is the joy of all the earth, affirming that the whole earth belongs to God. And so ultimately, this is emblematic. The fact that the Lord dwells and reigns from Zion, it also implies that the Lord dwells and reigns on earth. He has chosen to dwell within us, to reign over our life as well. So when we learn from the Lord who reigns supreme on earth, we also learn how to submit our lives to Him and have His reign in our life, in our day-to-day as well. May the Lord bless you as you study the lesson this week. It's going to be deep, and so remember to study the lesson. Don't count only on the videos. Go deep, read, write, comment. All of these things help you grow. Remember to comment down below in the comment section. I always love hearing from you, hearing your ideas, hearing your thoughts. That's always a growing experience for me. And also please remember to like, to share, to subscribe to our videos. We release one every day, and I hope to see you again here tomorrow for another Sabbath School Daily.